With Peanut Badookie and Coastal Carolina being Sun Belt champions, and he's absolutely won Heisman, he wanted to transfer to SEC since Clemson still had him on the bench. I mean, his dream school was always Clemson, and yeah, I may be wrong because I wanted to go back, but man, I'm going to show them better than I could tell them by committing to Duke. But I was in for a turn. They absolutely signed me as the #1 wide receiver. Then I was wide receiver #5 after I signed that check. That's why you read before you sign, fellas. They absolutely got me. But man, going into the position battle early on, I already won the first one. And this drill right here is something that we call the zigzag. Get that 500, go get some more stamina. And this is how you make them get hit by that little spinning thing in the middle. I say, ooh, you gotta catch me, buddy. You're too slow. Guess what? I'm gonna take him around the wing of the rosy and make sure he get hit up as I go get some more stamina. And look, his other teammate think he gonna come, but I already know where it's gonna go, buddy. Let me go ahead and get this last 500 so I could win this as I could, and I would go get it. Oh man, they are coming after me, but guess what, buddy? I already got 1,500 points. Already won. Going into the last drill of the day, man, I had an RPO and I said, it's one-on-one hurling over you. You should have already known what I was gonna do. But I absolutely go on and win that position battle, and man, I absolutely was unprepared for my academics. I was more focused on football. Leadership was kind of low and something that I needed to pick up, and I had 7 skill points, and I literally wanted to use it on my route running. It was the lowest thing I had. But going into our first game, I was prepared to sit on the bench, man. I'm wide receiver #5. I mean, what do you expect? But man, look at that. I'm on the bench just sitting here just watching the game, and you know, this is the most boring thing ever. But guess what? I finally get my chance on 1st and 10, run a route, and I didn't get thrown the ball, and we're headed right back to the bench. But man, we going to win 29-26. But being that it was the next week, I was given another opportunity to move up that depth chart, which I should have been #1 from the start, but whatever. But absolutely getting that 500, getting some stamina, and trying to make this defender miss. I said, I'm just gonna wait for the 500 to come to me. Why run to you if it's gonna come to me, buddy? But absolutely already having 1,000 points, I'm just gonna let him get hit and tossed around in circles, and absolutely go get some stamina and say, I got one more to go get. Let's go get that 500, and I absolutely will with the speed that I have, and I go get it with bad intentions. I'm now showboating on these kids, but man, I get brought down, winning the first one. Now it's time for the wide receiver route tree, and oh man, look at that beautiful route as I go get this 500 to win that one. Now it's time for the wide receiver skeleton, and guess what? I'm absolutely gonna catch that ball. Juke, oh my, he went missing, but absolutely going to win the position battle. Going into the next game, I got on that field pretty early. It was already 7-0 on 39. I said, I'm just gonna try to get us a first down, but the ball didn't even get thrown my way. It went right to my teammate, and he went down to score. So right back on the bench as I absolutely watched this score go all the way up, and man, I'm just on the bench all the way to the 4th quarter with 36 seconds as I run a slant route, catch that ball, and I could and I would get up that field, but man, we going to win another game. I mean, hey, I'm not contributing, but we're winning. We're going into our next game against UNC. I don't know what happened between my teammates, but coach started me early on in the game. I caught the ball for the first down, and on 1st and 10, I had a slant route, hurl up and showed them boys who I am. And on 1st and 15, I don't know if it was the rain or what, but I just didn't catch that ball, but I don't care. On that slant route, I made up for it as I took that thing all the way to the crib. And I told them boys, I'm going to put y'all to sleep. I don't care who you are. But on 1st and 10 on this streak route, I don't even know why he pressed me up like that. He better respect who Peanut Badookie is. I'm faster than Tyreek Hill. Look, he's pressing me again. And man, I'm like a cheat code as I strike down that field, and I could. And I would go all the way showboating on these kids and told them, hey, y'all know what time it is. I said I was going to put you to sleep the first time. You just didn't understand, but running another streak route on this DB, he needs to go to the sideline, coach. It's 28-27, and I look him in his face and tell him, you suck. But on 1st and 10, guess what? I run another one, and they said, no. The safety went over top that time, but guess what? If the safety don't get over that spin move, he's not going to stop me at all. But absolutely on 2nd and goal, I go get my last touchdown of the game. We go on to win 56-48, and man, I get player of the game with 6 total TDs and National Offensive Player of the Week. And now when I say I went down that depth chart, I went from wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2 to wide receiver 1. I'm now the starting wide receiver. Going into our next game against Stanford, man, I ran like a little mini post route, caught that ball, and oh man, hurdles hurdle over him, and man, that was a great start to the game, and I'm not here to play with them. Oh man, I absolutely catch another one, and this time I wanted 6, but I didn't get in. Run a slant route and fell on the 1 and got taken out of the game. Come on, coach, you're supposed to give me my 6, but absolutely catching a slant. I said I'm gonna get this one this time and shoot the bow and arrow. But man, on 1st and 10, I said, guess what? I'm over there booming him. You all can't even see it, but I'm telling you, bam! I'm just absolutely like, bam! He's on the ground. I'm telling you, and I'm gonna wind him up. But absolutely on 1st and 10, running a, I don't even know what it's called. I hurdle in for another TD. But on 1st and 10, it's 35-14. Yeah, I'm gonna say 1st and 10 every time, because every time he touches that rock, he's gonna take it for 6. But man, he get hit out of bounds. But on 3rd and goal, running an out route, he will catch it. Tony Toe Tapper, absolutely, and tell them boys, yeah, I'm him. We going to win 56-14, and he ends the game off with 3 total TDs. Going into our next game against Wake Forest, I'm telling you, I hit this boy with a corner route, and I don't even know what that thing called, but boy, I got him fired up. I'll tell you that much. And on 2nd and 10, I ran a slant route, and I said, I'm not going to play with you. I'm a hurdle, but I get hit every time I hurdle. I got to keep going, man. I keep getting brought down every time I get hurdled, and he built me like that. Oh yeah, I'm going to get my get back on you, buddy. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely possession catch for 6, and man, I was fired up with my teammates. But on 2nd and 7, look at this DB. He just fell out of coverage. I mean, hey, I'm a little too fast, man. What he thought I was going to do, a comeback route or something? But me trying to showboat, I got put on the 1, and I said, give me the ball, man. Give my touchdown. And I absolutely did so. But man, oh, I hurdled over him, and it looked like a spin move was going to come, but no, it didn't. He absolutely just outran him. And on 1st and 10, guess what? I'm going to run a post, and I could. Oh man, he knocked that ball down. Hello, man. I ain't know my teammate caught the ball, so I said, you know what? I'm hating. You're not going to score. That pass was for me. But on 1st and 10, I ran a slant route, and guess what? I will catch it for 6. And on 1st and 10, I had him burnt off the rip. I said, let's go ahead and put the icing on the cake as I take it all the way for 6 and said, y'all know what it is. We're going to win 57-50, and he gets player of the game with 6 total TDs. Going into our next game against Virginia, I ran a slant route, and that DB was nowhere to be found. I think they were running like a cover 2 zone, and I said, y'all know who I am. I'm Peanut Badookie. You can't run cover 2 against me, buddy, or you can't man press me up like that. I know what he's running. He's running Tampa 2. He's in the soft squad, so I'm going to eat him alive on that outside, but man, I dropped the ball. But on 3rd and 10, I got 1 man to beat. I said, you know what? I'm a hurdle over him. I really wanted to run through him, if you ask me, but I just hurdled up to save him some time. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely said, I'm going to burn him. I told them boys about pressing me up, so I'm going to take that thing to the crib every time. But on 1st and 10, I ran a post route, and guess what? I'm going to get missing out of there. You look at that number 26. Just look at the separation as he falls back in the back of the screen, and I will continue to go all the way for 6. We're going to win 70-32. Oh, man. I get player of the game with 7 total TDs. After 2 great games, going into our next game against NC State, man, I had a streak route, and he just didn't throw the ball, so I made it a post, caught that ball, and man, I could break a tackle and get up that field, and he will go all the way and get missed and put the crown on his head because he is the king. But catching the RPO, man, I hit it back up that outside and hurdled over him, but he put me on my back. But on 1st and 10, I would run a slant route, and yes, sir, throw the ball. He just wouldn't throw it to me. I was wide open, and he chose to throw that, but luckily, I'm the great receiver that I am, and I caught the rock. But on 3rd and 18, bam, get on the ground, buddy. That's where you belong. Bam, get back down there. That's a double pancakey. But 21-7, 1st and 10, I could just beat him with the speed. I could have stiff armed him. I could have spinned, but I said, no, I'm going to look back at you while I run all the way for 6 and put the ball down. But it's 35-7 on 1st and goal. I will catch it. Toe tapper. Oh man, we going to win another game. 49-24. He has the game off for 4 total TDs. After another great game, we are ranked number 7 now. We're still undefeated. Failed to took our first loss, but I catch a post route, and I could. Oh, I'm celebrating. Spin move, and he absolutely got put down. I could have took him for 6. I know. Hurdle up. I just wanted it to be a little better, and absolutely wanted to work for it a little bit more as I go in the back of that end zone and toe tap my feet. But on 1st and 10, I could run another post route, and man, I'm gonna hurdle over him and get put to the ground. But on 1st and goal, I catch that ball. Hurdle. Oh man, I'm gonna take it in for 6. Oh, I was fired up. up. But on 3rd and 7, I just knew that was a cover 2, so I just sat there till the ball came and absolutely caught it for the touchdown. But on 1st and goal, I said, one man to beat, I got you. I tried to lower my shoulder and put it in his chest, and I said, salute. Game over. Going to win 59-17. Failing to lose a game, man. We're just out here dominating the whole ACC. I'm waiting for that Clemson game because I am going to go insane. You think I'm doing something now? That game, I'm absolutely going to take over. But going against Georgia Tech, it's already 21-7. And why would I possession catch that? I could have took it for 6 by hitting the square button, but absolutely said I was going to take it for 6 by running this out route, and he could, and he would look behind him, dive in that end zone, and say, catch up, because you all are not catching me at all. But he could, and he would. Go with the elusive speed that he has. This man is incredible. But man, he said, where are you at? Nowhere to be found, buddy. But calling for that ball again, man, I was wide open, dove, and still got it, man. That was a 1st down. But on 3rd and 4, I got that ball back, and you see how I juked and weaved and got up that field. But we win another game, 77-26. We are blowing these teams out. The game in revenge against Clemson, man. It didn't start off too well, but man, we were just fired up to be out there. It was already 10-0. The QB wasn't throwing the ball my way. I think he was kind of hating on me. He didn't want me to shine against Clemson, or he wanted us to lose or something. This game had to be paid for because he wasn't passing me the ball. But man, I'm wide open, but I threw him on the ground. I remember you, number 20. I used to route you up in practice. But we finally go for 6, and I catch a little RPO. Man, let's get missing. Oh, get off of me. Yes, sir. Let's get up that field for a little couple yards. But on 3rd and 12, I'm wide open. The QB's throwing it other places, and we're still scoring, so I'm not really tripping. It's 21-24. Joke. Oh, hold on. Oh, man. Oh, boy, Peanut Badookie is finna open up a can. But on 1st and 10, he runs up post, and he could, and he would go all the way for 6. He is not here to play. He's gonna put them boys to sleep. It's over with. After he does this emote right here, that means he's gonna take over the whole game on a post route. He could, and he would with the speed that he has. Go all the way for 6, and that's all he had to do. We're going to win 56-39. Revenge. But man, it feels good for a team that always puts you on the bench and you know, just never give you a chance to see the field. And I know it hurts. Yeah, I know their coaching staff is really hurt. You know, a player that you had on the bench all of those years, actually Heisman winner, man. I won Heisman. I did it all and still wanted to come back. And guess what? You all didn't want me there. So guess what? I had to get revenge and absolutely whoop you. But going into our next game against Boston College, man, we started off intense. It's 21-7, and that was a beautiful route. I got one man to beat, and I could, and I would go all the way for 6. And man, get off of me, man. I told the crowd, y'all know who house this is. It's mine, Badookie. The Badookies is taking over every team in college football. I promise by the end of this, the Badookies will play for every team in college. And it's about 150, so we're going to take over. But on 3rd and 9, he could, and he would go all the way, showboating, putting a crown on his head. 4-6. We won 63-20, and we got invited to the ACC Championship. But man, getting to go to the ACC Conference Championship and the Clemson not making it, man, that just made my day right there. But man, it didn't start off well against Florida State. We got a safety the first drive, and guess what? A safety the second drive. These boys came out intense. I catch the ball. Look how many players are to that ball. But guess what? I don't care because I'm getting up that field throwing their best players on the ground. But on 2nd and 10, I caught that ball, but I'm not going to lie. He was a little strong, so I dropped it. But on 3rd and 10, I motioned it over and absolutely will have an out route. I could, and I would catch that ball, get up that field with bad intentions, but I get hit. But on 1st and 10, I said, throw me the ball, throw me the ball, throw me the ball. He didn't throw me the ball. He threw it to my teammate, and he will go all the way for 6. But on 3rd and 13, I ran an out route, and man, that ball was just out of bounds. But on 3rd and 15, it's now 31-17. We are getting whooped, and we cannot lose this ball game. But on 2nd and goal, you know who's going to go in for 6. I don't know how he caught it, but he did. But we lose the ACC Conference Championship. And man, he gets player of the year. But this is the end. He gets Heisman again. First team all ACC. This was the year, man. But y'all let me know in the comments, will he just go to Madden or will he have another year of college football? But guess what? Clemson still has me now as a walk-on. They are mad, and that's what we wanted. But drop in the comments down below, what is next for him?